What's up, everybody? What's up? This is your girl Kiwan, and I am back with another episode of the Braxton Season 2, Episode 3, Unbreak My Heart. Before I start, y'all, make sure we like, comment, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video I drop. Y'all, make sure you like the video so I can stay in the algorithm, y'all, all right? First of all, shout out to the new subscribers. I appreciate y'all. Welcome. And if you are returning back, you haven't subscribed, whenever you get around to it, please do. And to the ones that have been here, I appreciate y'all so much. And that's all I got. But this episode was a lot. Like, I've seen people's comments on Twitter and how a lot of people wish this show would go off. I don't know. I just have some opinions. But you know what? Let's just delve right into it. So we find out that Tamar had put a down payment on Tawanda's house, and we also found out that Tawanda was stealing from Tamar, I guess from the credit cards, off her credit cards and whatnot. Tawanda tells Tamar she slept with Tony's man, and Tamar throws a glass her way. Now, if you look at my thumbnail, once she threw that glass, in between Trina and Tamar, it was the look that they had on their face. They were actually reveling in the fact that we've pissed her off and we got her where we wanted to get her. It's sad because Tawanda wants to come off as if her and Tony and Trina, let's be clear, I feel like Trina and Tawanda has made a pact when it comes to Tamar. They don't fool with her and they're going to stick together. Tony comes off as, I'm just a sister who just sings and I'm just so above it all. And ultimately, they some stupid bitches. Okay, if we gonna keep it all the way a buck, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I did not like Tamar. I don't like how she showed up as a person when it comes to her online banter. But when it comes to her family dynamics, I think we've gotten it all wrong. As we looked at the family Braxton values, we saw Tamar and we looked at her and just assumed that she was just problematic because she always had lip. And we felt like she had too much dip on her chip. But now it's they're exposing everybody else. And while this was happening, the way Tamar was acting, I think that's the same way Tracy was acting. She was more outward. She was very outward with hers, just like Tamar is. And we never ignored Tracy. We always knew she had valid points, but we just let it go unscathed. Yes, that's what I think. That's exactly what I think. If you look at my thumbnail shows the smirking on both Trina and Tawanda's face. So the fact that Tony didn't get mad at this here comment says a lot. But you got mad because Tamar said you didn't have my back when it came to the attorney situation for that for that cease and desist. Girl, I feel like Tawanda pulled that out of her ass. But then Tamar said the ex actually slept with Tawanda. So we don't know. And all hell break loose. And so we go back 2 weeks ago. We see Trina and she's talking to Vaughn. Y'all know she left Tulum because, they told Vaughn that he had congestive heart failure. And she took the first flight out. Vaughn has fluid around his lungs, I want to say, and in his heart. And when they took all the fluid out, they ended up taking 30 pounds of water off of him. That is a lot. He has to correct himself with diet and exercise, or he will have to have surgery. And so my assumption, maybe he's going to have, I don't know if he's going to have weight loss surgery so he can get the weight off. I'm thinking that's what they're going to do. Anyway, the next scene, we see Tony. Not really much goes on with Tony as per usual, but she will be performing in Miami. And with her lupus, she hasn't been able to go on many tours. And it's kind of strange that everybody has some type of illness. Their husband, somebody died. Like, I know things happen in all of our families, but sometimes I wonder if I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say this. There's a generational curse that is on them. And I don't think at this point anything they say or do will mend their family. I think once that mom goes on to be with the Lord, and that this, I'm just saying, this is just my personal opinion. I think that their family will disseminate permanently. What's her name? Trina and Tawanda, they gonna stick together. Tony's gonna go her way, and she'll call whoever she see fit at the moment she see fit. And then you have Tamar, who will just go her way. And we don't know much about the brother. Anyway, Tamar goes to do an interview with T.S. Madison, and shout out to T.S. Madison. Is this bitch on? Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I love T.S. So she has a podcast. I did not know she had a podcast called Outlaws. I knew she had the one with her and Craig, because sometimes I would listen to that one. So T.S. asked Tony about her niece and the podcast. And I mean, I'm sorry, not the podcast, but her niece speaking out on Instagram. And so Tamar tells T.S., I can't talk about it because there is a cease and desist on me, so I can't give details. So Tamar said in her confessional that she talked to the family about it, and she don't think that that her podcast should be silenced, and she don't think that Ashley should be silenced for her experience. So we also found out that their family attorney, not Tamar's, but the rest of the family attorney, which is Tony's best friend, which was the man, I want to say, who was in last week's episode when she went to go see that actress lady, or the acting coach or whatever, a writing coach. He sent the cease and desist to Tamar to stop that podcast. Anyway, T.S. tell Tamar, that the co-host, y'all know who she was talking about, from T.S. other show, said that their family likes drama. Tamar was like, listen, I don't think he liked me or my family. And even in that moment, she still stuck up for her family. And we also know that her and T.S. co-host had some words exchange. I don't know if y'all remember that, but just some months back, they had some words exchange. Anyway, she said that they're the only black family that has been on TV for 10 years, but y'all took a break. I don't know if this was consistent, because after Family Values, y'all went on this break. And then Tracy died, and then y'all finally came back on, so y'all kind of severed, So I don't know. This could be true, because I don't remember seeing another black African-American family reality show except for this one. I need to check and see, but most likely I won't. Okay? So T.S. asked Tamar about her villain era. And Tamar was like, listen, my villain era comes from the Braxtons. She said that, T.S. asked, was she good TV? And Tamar was like, yes. And we all know, no matter what we see her on, she is good TV. Anyway, we move over to Tawanda. She's meeting with her stylist, and I guess to try on her dress or whatever. Her dress isn't ready. Apparently, she's wearing some type of lavender and chocolate dress. Fine. What's her name? Tracy asked about the measurements. And apparently Tony nor Tamar have their their measurements for their dress. Tawanda says she's not getting anything from Tony or Tamar, and that makes her sad. Tawanda also says, no, I'm sorry, let me say this. She consistently comes on the screen and want to play the victim when in reality you're only pissed off because Tony isn't responding in a way that you need her to respond. Tony's not showing up in a way you need her to show up. So you're going to add Tamar because you think it looks good to us viewers. You don't even want her there. You don't even like her like that. And I wish that you would keep it a buck and say, you know what, fuck my sister. I don't like her like that. That shit is unfortunate because I'm not like that with my brother. Okay, if you know me, you know. Only if you're close to me. I love my brother. Okay? Anyway, that's not about it. That's not about us. What I'm saying is, Tawanda would be a little more likable if you would just keep it a buck when it comes to Tamar. I never liked her. And I'm sure after all of these years, you know exactly the reason why you don't with Tamar. I'm just saying, but you coming on here crying to us every day, looking stupid as fuck, talking about, my sisters. No, say Tony. But then, if you admit that, and I think I said that in one of my other reviews, but if you admit that, that will also view you as the ain't shit sister that we know you are to be. I'm just saying. So Tawanda walks out with this ugly ass dress. They ask, if she's gonna postpone the wedding. She said no. She just need more people stepping up instead of asking her to postpone. Well, Tawanda, did you ask those people to step up? And again, is it you want all of you because you have so many people in your damn wedding, and I'm pretty sure all of these people are doing their part. I really believe when you say you want more people stepping up, that means you want Tony to show up for you the way you showed up for Tony. And that is not what you're going to get. And I wish her raggedy ass would keep it a buck and say, I don't fuck with my sisters like that. Like, life would be so much smoother if everybody was just if everybody would stop hiding their real true feelings and say how the fuck you feel. I'm just saying, it is bothersome. This show is very annoying. What we thought was cool back then, that shit was very annoying if you really think about it. Because them hoes didn't like each other then, and they don't like each other now. So anyway, we get to Trina. And Trina's Canadian, English fucking accent is pissing me off. This bitch is pissing me off. I did not know how much I did not like Trina or Tawanda until I started watching it last season and this season. Anyway, her and Vaughn are changing their lifestyle, their diet lifestyle, and they're just having this back and forward on the things that can, things that should go and things that should stay as far as their meals. It wasn't really nothing there. So Tony called and Tony called the showrunner, and there was supposed to be a meeting that Tony was supposed to attend, but she can't because something is going on with Miss Evelyn. So we get over to the hospital in Atlanta, and she has a blockage in her heart, and she will need a stent. Well, we found out that Evelyn punk ass didn't tell none of her daughters about her heart issues. But she laying there just as not delirious. I forgot what word. Disoriented. So she's laying there disoriented. She's asking for food. You can tell she had a lot of meds in her because she hasn't really come to. Anyway, we get to Evelyn's house, and she has been released from the hospital. We find out that she's now having cardiac rehab, and she said that she's fine. She was like, I'm fine, I'm great. Okay. So Tawanda calls her mom, or her mom called her, or whatever, and Tawanda shares with her mom that she's getting her marriage license, and she's decided. I mean, she's gonna go to the doctor so they can get the cast removed from her arm. And I'm just like, girl, I don't know what the Lord, or if you pray to the universe, or whomever y'all pray to, Buddha, I don't care. Y'all can pray to this little thing as far as I'm concerned. But I don't know what God is trying to tell you, ma'am. Like right before your wedding, you get hit. Your dress isn't ready. I don't know. But you're so adamant about letting us know I'm getting married, or I'm about to be a wife, or I'm engaged. I feel like every time you say that, you try to convince yourself that you're engaged. And I just hope that this nigga, this lace front ass nigga, don't show up like that last raggedy ass nigga you had. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not here to judge, but I'm gonna judge, okay? I'm gonna listen and I'm gonna judge. Anyway, she's gonna get her cast removed. It's like you're rushing this process so you can get married. And it's another thing, because it was around Tamar's birthday, your evil ass still won't even change the date because you want it on around her birthday. You're just like, I want it on March 22nd, and that's that. And it's like, girl. So Tony comes over to her mom's house, and she said that she had to stop what she was doing to get to her mom. Evelyn tells Tony that, she may have another blockage, that they couldn't do it all because of the dye. And the dye that they was going to put in her, it would have messed up her kidneys. But she said she's good. Are you, ma'am? Anyway, then Tamar and Trina stops by. Tamar asks her mama, why did you keep that information away from him? She said she didn't know the extent of everything that was happening, but your raggedy ass did not tell your grown ass kids, but you told your 11-year-old grandson. It's given control. Anyway, Trina said their sisterhood has been strained since Tamar invited Ashley on the podcast. No, y'all relationship has been strained years ago, thanks to your mom and your dad. But I put all the responsibility on Evelyn with her hateful ass. Anyway, she said that they agreed to have Trina. They agreed to have a united front while everybody is in town so they can take care of their mom. This shit is sad. This is sad. This is absolutely sad. So Evelyn said the kids are always worried about her, and she knows that, but they are always in her business, and they don't have to know everything. She believes in reserving something for herself so she can stay in control of her. And for me, it feels like you want them to constantly be emotionally dependent upon you. She knows that the girls will worry about her, and it's like you feel as though you're giving up all of your autonomy if you disclose this information. How in the hell are they supposed to help you if you don't say anything to them? And let me just pause this right here about black older people not disclosing your medical information, because somehow somebody made you feel like you're going to be a burden to your family. It is so selfish to not disclose information that is important. Y'all, I am getting so aggravated with that. When I got the phone call for my dad from the doctor, because I was here and my daddy was in New Orleans. This man asked me, do you know how sick your dad was? Absolutely not. Because he didn't disclose any information for anybody. Even though we took care of things, still, that shit is is like fucked up. Because how is it that we can help you? What if it's something that you need and one of us can do it for you? That's just like even my mom. My mom did not know the extent of what she had going on because she kept it hidden. That shit is triggering on all parts. Not knowing. Because somebody made them feel like, and I'm willing to believe our older generation, somebody made them feel like they were a burden. That shit is not fair. I know that some people want to keep things to themselves. And even if y'all watch this last episode, if you watch Reasonable Doubt, that was the same thing Jack's mom did on there. She did not know her mom had stage 2 cancer. These are things that your family should know. You should never just disclose this information to an 11-year-old. Do you know the type of trauma you put on a kid when you tell them that? Whew. I need a minute. All right, y'all, I'm back. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. But please don't do that. If this is you, please don't do that. If you have people that care, if you have family out there that actually care about you, please let them know the extent of your illness. Unless you just don't go to the doctor and you don't want to know, that is one thing. But please be sure to disclose what's happening with you, with your family, or people that are, it may not be your family in its entirety, but the people that are in close proximity of you, those people that truly, truly love you. It doesn't mean that you're some type of burden. It just means that, hey, maybe we can help you and maybe we can't, but maybe we can pray for you and we can check on you rather than you always checking up on us. I just wanted to say that, y'all. Anyway. So, the sisters meet up. And Tamar wanted to know why she received that cease and desist. Tony said that she didn't know why. And there is strife between Tamar and the girls. No, you're included in that too. You can't make me believe that you don't have no parts. Like, you definitely have sinking parts in this. Okay? So Tamar asked, Tawanda, how was Tulum? She also asked her, how are the wedding plans going? Tony asked, how was her arm? So Tawanda was telling them about the wedding plans, but you never disclosed how you felt about your sister's absence. Which means you saying all that on camera was bullshit. Again, you want us to feel sorry for you as the viewers, and we don't. Girl, you. Okay? Just saying. So Tamar asked, hey, am I the maid of honor? And what was I supposed to be doing? No, Tamar asked, is the maid of honor supposed to be doing that? Tony said, well, I thought you were the maid of honor. Tamar said, I've been relieved of my duties. Tawanda, get her big head ass up here and say, who relieved you of your duties, bitch? Well, this lady stayed in victimhood. Okay? So, Tamar asked if anybody else received some type of maid of honor invitation. Tawanda said she never sent the invite for a maid of honor. Trina said she never received a maid of honor invitation. Tony said she was confused. What were you confused about? Again, you sitting here and you're not answering any questions. You just keep saying, who told you that? Who said that? Instead of just, again, keeping it a buck. So Tamar said, she was disinvited. Tawanda said, who disinvited you or uninvited you? Who said they didn't want you to come? I'll wait. The way I would have backed the piss out of Tawanda just off of GP, because now you're trying me. Now you're trying to be an asshole. And I can match that energy. Anyway, Tawanda goes on to say that they were told, you didn't want to film with us. Ma'am, let me say this. What I love about Tamar, she stood 10 toes down in her shit. She was like, I did say that. And I didn't want to film with y'all because of the cease and desist. Y'all gonna sit here and play in this lady face and act like y'all ain't know why she didn't want to film with you? Girl, instead of answering a question about the whole bridesmaid situation, you won't do that. You won't sit here and play mind games. So Trina said that's not true. And as soon as Trina said that, Tawanda tapped her and said, no, hold on. Bitch, who you think? Woo! And as who is y'all? Oh, so Tawanda is the spokesperson. Tawanda is the big dog. Okay, that's what this was about. So the showrunner came up and said, we don't want y'all to go there. And so they were like, oh, yes, we do. Yeah, let them go there. Let them go there. Let them get all of this bullshit out and decide whether or not what they're going to be moving forward. Because this show needs to go off. If there is no resolve and there is no repair for their relationship, then so be it. And so Tawanda keeps asking, who is y'all? Like, it's almost like you're trying to get a rise out of Tamar. Tamar said that their family, she said that it was the family attorney. So now none of them don't know anything about the family attorney sending that lady a cease and desist. And Tamar tells Tony, you're the best friends with the attorney, so how is it that you don't know about it? Somebody had a conversation that mama told that brother, or that mama, all of y'all knew, between the mama, the brother, and all three of y'all sisters. Y'all knew. But y'all gonna sit up here and act like y'all don't know. And then you won't even keep it a buck. That's the fucked up part. So Tony decided she wanted to pipe up and said, y'all not gonna convict Tony for a crime that she didn't commit, and she knew nothing. Why'd your stupid ass talking in third person? Let's start there. Second, you knew. I'm sorry, y'all. I cannot believe that this lady did not know. You act like you gonna sit here and act like you didn't know. Anyway, Tamar tells them one of them gave the attorney her address. And y'all tried to shut down my podcast. Like, that is my brand. This is, one of the things that I do. Tawanda sat there and she said, don't say y'all. Tony says to Tamar, so you gonna say Tony didn't have, because at this point, Tamar is like, you didn't have my back, y'all didn't have my back when it came. If y'all didn't know about the cease and desist, then why didn't y'all have my back? So Tony decided to play semantics, talking about, oh, you gonna say Tony never had your back? You gonna say Tony never had your back? Like, she was really piping up. And so Tamar was like, you didn't have my back when it came to your attorney friend and this cease and desist. And so after that, Tony keep referring to herself in third person, and I'm looking at Tony like, girl, if you don't get the fuck up out of here, because y'all know Tamar gonna throw the glass in between Tawana next week. And again, when we look at the beginning of this the episode, there's that look on Tawana and Trina's face. And again, it was a look of satisfaction because we got a rise out of Tamar. And I put that on my thumbnail. Those bitches piss me off. Thoroughly piss me off. Y'all, I know it's raw. This show is raw for me. Like, it's good. It's good because they're literally fighting. But at the same time, everybody want to come down on this lady, and I'm just glad that she's speaking out. I'm glad that we're finally getting the truth. So yeah, this is a lot. And that's all I got. I ain't got nothing else to give. But if you have not, make sure. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below about this episode. And also make sure, if you have not, if you're still on my channel, just deciding whether or not you want to subscribe, just take a little bit more time and then come on over and be a part of the crew. Okay, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to my channel on your way out. And I want to say I'm going to see y'all tomorrow for the Real Housewives of Potomac. Also, I am going to review Love and Hip Hop Miami. Y'all know that's my little show. Baby, they give me ghetto life. Okay. So yeah, I will see y'all tomorrow. I really do need to drop another episode of The Game, first season of The Game, and another episode of Insecure, so I can finish up my first seasons of both shows. Yeah. Anyway, tomorrow. Yes. So I will see y'all tomorrow in the next video.